Greetings and salutations. Today we'll be covering the tragic tale of Amber Renee Hagerman, the case that led to the creation of the Amber Alert. On a fateful day in Arlington, Texas, on January the 13th of 1996, the innocence of childhood was shattered for one 9-year-old Amber Renee Hagerman, who was innocently riding her pink bike when a sinister presence snatched her away. It must be noted that this had occurred once her younger brother, Ricky, had returned home and left Amber behind, playing in the parking lot. Little would he know that that would be the last time he would ever lay eyes on his sister. As news of the abduction spread, panic and desperation filled the hearts of Amber's family, along with a miasma of sorrow spreading throughout the community. Her father, Richard, reached out to Mark Klass, who had experienced the tragedy of his own daughter's kidnapping and murder. Together, they rallied the news media and the FBI in order to aid in the search for Amber. The search would continue, however. 4 agonizing days later, a grim discovery was made. At around midnight, a man walking his dog would stumble upon Amber's lifeless form, stripped of her clothing and dumped in a creek just behind an apartment complex. Her neck bore severe laceration wounds, and the location of her tragic end was chillingly close to where she had gone missing from, being less than 5 miles away from where her brother had left her. Amidst the darkness of tragedy, a glimmer of hope emerged. The legacy of Amber would live on through the Amber Alert system, a nationwide child abduction emergency alert, which functions by having a message sent to the public seeking their vigilant eyes to help find abducted children. Amber's abduction led to the creation of this alert, which would function as a lifeline for many missing children across the United States. Through modern communication channels, the Amber Alert reaches far and wide, utilizing commercial and public radio, internet radio, satellite radio, television, text messages, and more. It even appears on electronic billboards, leaving no stone unturned in the quest to aid missing children so they may not have as tragic a fate as Amber. To go into further detail, it was a tranquil neighborhood of Arlington, Texas on January 13th, 1996, during what seemed to be an innocent bike ride that would eventually turn into a nightmare. This is when Amber Hagerman, a bright-eyed 9-year-old who had hopped on to her newly received pink Christmas bike, would set out to the area around her grandmother's residence. Little would anyone know that lurking in the shadows was a sinister figure. Later, as she approached the desolate lot of an abandoned Winn-Dixie grocery store, a black truck would materialize seemingly out of nowhere. In that horrifying instant, a man snatched up Amber, ripping her from the safety of her carefree world. Panic would ensue throughout the community as they scrambled to attempt to find the now missing young girl. 4 long, harrowing days later, a haunting discovery would be made. Amber's lifeless body was left unclothed and discarded near a local creek. Her innocence had been brutally stolen, leaving behind a trail of questions and heartache. Decades have passed, and unfortunately, the perpetrator remains elusive, his identity cloaked in shadows, yet the impact of Amber's abduction has echoed throughout time. From the depths of this tragedy emerged the Amber Alert system, and it has been a beacon of hope and prevented numerous children from sharing a similar grim fate. As the nation grappled with the tragedy of Amber's abduction and murder, the grieving family found themselves enveloped in a profound and terrible sorrow. However, amidst the heartache, a Texas mother named Diane Simone was deeply moved by Amber's story and found herself inspired by an audacious idea. Summoning up courage, Diane reached out to the local radio station, contemplating the creation of a nationwide alert system dedicated to finding missing children. "I can't get over this child. There has to be something we can do," she lamented in a poignant moment. Her conviction stemmed from the realization that if weather and civil defense alerts were disseminated across the country, why not extend the same urgency and vigilance to protect innocent lives? With unwavering determination, Diane's vision, which was fondly referred to as Amber's plan, would take root. Collaborating with broadcasters in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and working in tandem with law enforcement, the first seeds of the Amber Alert system were sown. Its purpose was clear: to swiftly broadcast emergency responses and mobilizing communities to aid in the recovery of abducted children. Amidst the fervor of activism, the name Amber resounded deeply, with its poignant acronym representing America's missing broadcast emergency response. The system itself sharing a name with its inspiration. The unyielding legacy of the Amber Alert system is one that has persisted since its inception in 1996, where the Amber Alert system would stand as a steadfast guardian, saving the lives of well over 1,000 abducted children across the nation. The stark effect of these alerts has been felt by those who dare prey upon the innocent. Astonishingly, some perpetrators, upon receiving the piercing sound of an Amber Alert, have released their captives, unable to withstand the force of a nation's unified pursuit. The intricate workings of the Amber Alert system springs into action when law enforcement identifies cases meeting specific criteria. Broadcasters and state transportation agencies are swiftly notified, and they proceed to unleash a torrent of alerts which disrupt programming. The alerts flash on digital billboards and quickly adorn transportation signs. The Amber Alert will even cascade through text messages. In the modern age, the Amber Alert has even partnered with Facebook and other social media sites, amplifying their reach and potency, increasing the chances of the safe retrieval of the young victim. For Donna Williams, Amber Hagerman's mother, the Amber Alert system stands as both a source of solace and sorrow. As she reflected on the 20th anniversary of her daughter's tragic murder, she couldn't help but wonder if the alert might have rewritten history and returned Amber safely to her family's embrace if it had existed prior to her kidnapping. However, regardless of how much time has passed, the investigation into Amber's abduction remains far from cold. Arlington Police Sergeant Grant Gilden asserts that leads have persisted over the years, preventing her case from ever being designated as a cold case. The tenacity of the Arlington Police Department mirrors the unwavering hope that someone within the community still harbors crucial information about Amber's kidnapping. In a compelling disclosure in 2021, investigators unveiled DNA evidence that could hold the key to unlocking the identity of Amber's killer. It is a glimmer of hope, a beacon signaling that the truth may soon be unveiled. Armed with this evidence and fresh lead, detectives have remained resolute, committed to resolving this enigmatic puzzle that shrouds the fate of one unfortunate 9-year-old girl who became the unwitting catalyst for the birth of the Amber Alert system. With the information provided, a timeline can be formed to better understand this case. January 13, 1996, while riding her pink bike at the parking lot of an abandoned Winn-Dixie grocery store, a man in a black truck would suddenly abduct Amber Hagerman. January 17, 1996. 4 days after her abduction, Amber's naked body is tragically discovered in a local creek less than 5 miles from where she was taken. Her death would wind up sending shockwaves throughout the community. 1996. In the aftermath of Amber's abduction and murder, Diane Simone, a Texas mother, would come up with an idea to create a national alert system for missing children. The idea was directly inspired by the tragedy of Amber Hagerman. Later still, in 1996, broadcasters in the Dallas-Fort Worth area collaborate with law enforcement in order to implement Diane Simone's idea, leading to the creation of the Amber Alert system, which is an acronym for America's Missing Broadcast Emergency Response. 2016, on the 20th anniversary of Amber's murder, Donna Williams, Amber's mother, reflects bittersweetly on the legacy of the Amber Alert system. system, wondering if having the alert system would have prevented her daughter's tragic fate. 2021, investigators disclose they possess DNA evidence potentially linked to Amber's killer, raising hopes for a breakthrough in this long unsolved case. The chilling tale of Amber Hagerman has gripped the hearts and minds of many, leaving an indelible mark in history and altering the fates of many innocent souls. She was a young girl full of life who was snatched away on a seemingly ordinary day. Her innocent laughter silenced forever. Her pink bike left abandoned in the parking lot. The shadow of the mysterious black truck looms over the thoughts of many investigators. Yet amidst the darkness, a ray of hope would shine. Her tragedy led to the creation of the Amber Alert system. Her legacy, a beacon of light, an urgent call to action that has saved thousands of children from a fate like her own. It stands as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and humanity's unwavering dedication to protect its most vulnerable. Due to disclosures which occurred in 2021, the journey to unveil the truth of who perpetrated such a heinous crime on Amber Hagerman continues to this day. If you remained with me until the end, I thank you, and I do hope you stay tuned and subscribe for more content.